Good morning, everybody. Today is a little different from yesterday, and in fact that it is sweltering hot. It's supposed to be up close to 90 degrees today, so I'll make sure I'm replenished with water. Last night we stayed at a little bit off trail behind a restaurant called the Blue Mountain Inn. The owners were nice enough to allow us to tent back there underneath their shelter, although we didn't need to. We could have tented in the grass, but it had water. They had a very clean portalet. They had electrical outlets, so everything got charged back up. And with fresh ground with us, we made us a little shower area, boiled a little water, cut it with a little bit of cold water, and each of us took a shower. So man, it was a great experience. So we waited this morning till they opened at 9 o'clock and had an awesome breakfast. So if you can get away there, it's 2 or 3 miles off the trail, I believe. The owners are very hiker friendly, and it is a cool place to stay. And guess what? Dine and Dash coming up behind me. A lot faster than me, so we'll let him go by. You're a YouTube star now, bro. Woo! But it was a great night last night. We had a lot of fun sitting around chatting, and Fresh Ground cooked up some barbecue for us last night and some homemade macaroni and cheese. So we are happy campers. And tonight, well, coming up here at the Gap Road, coming up, Fresh Ground is going to serve us a little lunch. We're going to finish out the day at 16 and be in Danielsville, and going to take a well-deserved zero. We're going to stay at the Super 8 over there, and then Hadassah, come tomorrow, is going to have to head back to Florida. So we're going to be on our own for a little bit. All right, that's what I got for now. Really, there hasn't been any views today. All it's been is sharp rocks and roots. So that's what we're doing. PT out. All right, just rock hopping all day long, or the sharp pointy rocks. Been trashing my feet, but glad to know that I'm going to be in a motel room tonight and taking a zero tomorrow. This is an interesting sign here. The Leroy Smith shelter is 0.15 that way. Spring is 0.04. Kathleen Trail, or Catalan Trail, I don't know how you say it, it's 0.9, but happiness is right here. Sign couldn't have said more, because as painful as this can be, happiness is still here. All right, haven't seen much today for views, but actually haven't seen anything for views. It's just been rocky trail, so pointy rocky trail. So that's what I'm doing. When I come back, I'm going to talk a little bit once I get a little bit of trail where I can walk without stubbing my toe or stepping on a rock that feels like it's going through the bottom of my foot. I got a little more to say about an experience a couple nights ago, but all right, we'll do that in a little bit. All right, actually get a little view here, power line view, but this is pretty much the first one I've been able to get all day. Let me get over here to a better spot so the power line is not in, or the power pole, I guess. A nice little valley view down here over to Rockfield. That's what we've been walking through, part of what we've been walking through today, and it is hot, up in the 90s today, so keeping hydrated. Got a little darkness over there. We might get some rain, I don't know. Usually when it gets this hot in Florida, you get those dark clouds in the afternoon, it means rain. So we'll see. I only got about 4.5 miles to go, so maybe I'll get in before the rain goes. Pulling out at Wind Gap, going to Strasburg tonight. All right, more in a little bit. All right, everybody. As a little introspective today, since there's not many views, maybe a rant. I guess we could call it a rant. But what we've run into here, which really I didn't even think about when I started my through hike, and actually it's kind of logical. Part of the reason why I started so early was to get at the head of the bubble where you're not piled into a shelter fighting for space, or even a tent site fighting for space. Well, what I didn't realize and didn't think about was the fact that flip-floppers that are starting their hike, that want to get in front of the bubble, are starting right around the same time that we're coming through Harper's Ferry. So what we're running into is basically a flip-flop bubble of hikers that started at Harper's Ferry, which, you know, that's okay. It's not as many, and we've stayed ahead of the bubble that started at Springer, and actually, to be honest, I think whatever bubble, they've spread out so much by the time we're up here. Just to let you know where I'm at the end of today, I'll be 16 miles from Delaware Water Gap, which is the state line between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's our next state. So the bubble from Springer, you know, those fast hikers that started around the same time as me were gone out of the get-go. The ones that started early March that are fast have caught and passed, and you know, it's just over 1,200 miles. It's spread out, so that's not any concern. But like I said a little minute ago, we're caught up in a what I would consider a mini bubble of flip-floppers that have started at Harper's Ferry. So not that I'm staying in shelters if I have to, but yes, I am piling into a tent site. So today we'll talk a little bit about tent site etiquette. A couple of things. Same, and really it's kind of the same as shelter etiquette, because when you pitch a tent and you pile yourself into your tent, you have walls around you, but believe me, those walls are not deflecting any sound. And you know, same thing, if you're a snorer, you're a snorer, and the other people need to be prepared for that. But the same rules as in a shelter should be the same rules at a tent site, especially when you're piled in to a tent site, which has now happened a couple of times. A, you come in late. You turn on your headlamp, but turn on your red light, please. Don't turn on the white light, because the white light is like a car headlight every time you turn your head, flipping around into someone's tent who got there much earlier than you and set up their tent, and is probably trying to sleep. Be quiet as best you can. Now I understand, or we understand, you got to set your tent up and all that, but if you're there with a friend and you see, or another hiker or wife or whatever it may be, and you see that other people have already set their tents up and are inside their tents and trying to sleep, or even just inside their tents, there's no need to be talking at a regular volume as the sun's gone down already. You know, come on, be respectful. You know, and another thing, as you pull into a tent site, if it's a big, huge tent site, yeah, you want to find, you know, the best spot for your tent. But even if it's a flat site that you see, don't park it 2 feet from somebody else's tent when there is plenty of room somewhere else. So you're the one that got there late. You know, if you wanted the best tent site, you would have pulled up early. And then, you know, there's move down the hill a little bit, and maybe your tent site's not going to be as flat, but don't invade somebody else's personal space by pitching your tent within a foot or two of theirs, unless obviously there's just no space. You know, that's easily understandable, but you know, just be respectful. I will tell you this: you pitch a tent site next to me and you come in making a bunch of noise, talking that you shouldn't be, and I'm already in my tent at night, I will guarantee you, you are going to be waking up early, because I'm going to pay you back. Next time it happens to me, somebody's going to be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning because they're going to be getting a white light shined in their tent, and I'm going to be making some noise. So, you know, live by the rules. They're unwritten, but it's just common courtesy. And, you know, just think of the other hikers that are around you. That's really what I'm talking about. And be cognizant of what's going on, that if you're disturbing somebody else, it might come back to get you. Another thing that I haven't really talked about, which hasn't been any bit of a problem out here, but and really it hasn't been any problem in Pennsylvania because there's not too many hills. But if you are hiking down a hill and there are hikers that are coming up, you know, a hiker that's going up a hill is struggling a lot more than you, and you get into a rhythm as you're pushing up that hill. So if you are on the downhill, pull off to the side, let that hiker that's got the rhythm, that's working his way up the hill, go by. And vice versa. Expect that from other hikers when you're going uphill, that they'll move over for you. That really hasn't been much of a problem, except for maybe a few times. And some of them, maybe day hikers, section hikers, just don't know the rules, but maybe somebody, if I can put it out on mine, I'll learn that a little bit. It's just kind of a common courtesy thing out here. And it really does help swallow. I just swallowed about my third bug for the day. But get me a little extra protein. So, you know, that's, like I said, it's all unwritten rules, but it's kind of a common courtesy thing. And I've even pulled over when I'm going downhill and another hiker stops that's going uphill. And I'll say, you know, I'll let them know, hey, the unwritten rule is the hiker going uphill gets the right of way, so come on. And sometimes that'll hiker say, no, I'm glad you came, I needed the break. You know, so you go on by. But, you know, it's teaching, it's learning. So when that happens to you, you know, if we educate people, then maybe as it goes along, the hiking community will get more together on some of the unwritten rules. And with the subscribers that I got, you know, I'm hoping that everybody knows common courtesy and, you know, a few of the little rules that we try to go by out here, make everybody's hike a little bit better. All right, so that's my few-minute rant. I've probably got about 3 miles to go, and just dodging the pointy rocks, or trying to. Hoping to be out of PA, 0 this tomorrow. Next day, hoping to be out of PA and into another state, and dropping down below 900 miles to go. All right, if I get some views or something to see, I'll plop it back on. If not, that's not going to be it for the day, I don't think, but that'll be it for now. All right, so here's one of those gas line views. There's a gas line that runs through here. Goes that way and that way. It's kind of hard to see this way because the grass is so tall. But hey, sorry about the rant here. I'm going to go ahead and renege on one of the things I said. I just got a little fire in me there. But I'm not going to wake up and mess up anybody's hike, anybody else's hike. That's not the right way to do it. So I apologize for what I said earlier. That's not something I'm going to do. Just just blabbing out my mouth, saying things off the top of my head. So it just kind of chapped me a little bit when that happened the other night. But I'm over it. I've let it out, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Just common courtesy out here goes a long way. All right. Hopefully I will be done in about an hour, because I am ready for a 0. As you can see, the trail maintainers have been out here sharpening up the rocks. So my feet are ready for a break. All right, PT out. All right, looks like one little view to end out the day. Kind of a little rock formation here. It's something, but not much. All right, I'm not exactly sure how far I am from the finish, but I know I'm close. All right, another little view here at the end of the day. Less than a mile to go. And this is my terrain. All right, PT out.